Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Wednesday, January 13, 2021. Fox report: Pope Francis receives coronavirus vaccine as Vatican begins rollout. Reports: Pope Francis received his first dose of the coronavirus vaccine on Wednesday as the Vatican began its vaccination campaign, according to reports. The inoculation of the 84-year-old pontiff was first reported by America, a U.S.-based Jesuit news outlet, an Argentine daily newspaper La Nación, both citing Vatican sources. It is believed that Francis received the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine and will get a second jab in 3 weeks.
CNN report: Police arrest second suspect in killing of Nashville nurse. A second suspect has been arrested in connection with the fatal shooting of nurse Caitlin Kaufman, Nashville police said. James Cowan was arrested at an apartment complex in Antioch, Tennessee, on Tuesday evening, police announced on Twitter. Kaufman, 26, was shot and killed on December 3, 2020, while driving to work on Interstate 440. Undercover Metropolitan Nashville Police Department detectives, along with agents from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives, trailed Cowan as he went to the apartment complex from a local motel, the tweet said.
Al Jazeera report: Iran's smog, blackouts made worse by power sapping crypto mining. Cities across Iran have been cloaked in thick layers of toxic smog and darkened by blackouts, as the alleged use of low-quality fuel and power-sucking cryptocurrency mining deepened the country's hardships. Tehran's Hamshari newspaper, the country's most read daily, ran the headline, 20 days living in smoke, on Wednesday over a photo of the capital covered in smog. Power plants have been forced to switch to burning low-grade fuel oils to generate electricity because high levels of domestic consumption have led to natural gas shortages, the semi-official Iranian Students News Agency reported.
CNN report: New York City moves to end contracts with the Trump Organization. New York City is seeking to terminate its business relationships with the Trump Organization in response to last week's attack on the U.S. Capitol. On the day President Donald Trump faces a second impeachment for his role inciting the rioters who ransacked the Capitol, officials in New York City announced plans to immediately end the Trump Organization's contracts to operate the Trump Golf Links at Ferry Point, the Central Park Carousel and the Wallman and Lasker ice skating rinks.
BBC report: Coronavirus, British tourist blamed for Lauberhorn ski race cancellation. The resort of Wengen, where the race is held, had recorded only 10 cases of the virus by mid-December. But the number soon began to rise and many cases have since been linked to the new highly infectious variant of COVID-19 first identified in the UK. At least 27 cases are connected to one British tourist, contact tracers say. The tourists stayed in a hotel in Wengen over the holiday period. The Lauberhorn course is the longest downhill run in the world, and racers can reach speeds of 160 km per hour, 100 miles per hour.
Al Jazeera report: Tigray, Ethiopian army kills ex-foreign minister Seyum Mesfin. Ethiopia says its forces have killed 3 members of the conflict-hit Tigray region's former ruling party, including ex-Ethiopian foreign minister Seyum Mesfin. The 3 Tigray People's Liberation Front (TPLF) officials were killed after they refused to surrender to the military, the government's task force for the crisis in Tigray said on Twitter on Wednesday. 5 other TPLF members were captured, it added.
Fox report: Virginia man wearing Camp Auschwitz sweatshirt during Capitol riot arrested. A Virginia man who wore a Camp Auschwitz sweatshirt during the riots at the U.S. Capitol last week was arrested Wednesday morning. Robert Keith Packer was arrested in Newport News, VA, by the FBI's Norfolk Joint Terrorism Task Force. A spokesperson for the Norfolk Field Office confirmed to Fox News. Douglas Sweet of Grimstead was also arrested by the FBI in Matthews County, VA, for his alleged participation in the riots, the FBI confirmed.
BBC report: Irish PM apologises over mother and baby homes. The report found an appalling level of infant mortality. Established in the 19th and 20th centuries, the institutions housed women and girls who became pregnant outside marriage. Michael Martin apologized for the profound and generational wrong to survivors of mother and baby homes. About 9,000 children died in the 18 institutions under investigation. The Irish government said the report revealed the country had a stifling oppressive and brutally misogynistic culture.
Fox report. China targets PM Boris Johnson after suggestion coronavirus could have spread from grinding pangolin. China has accused Boris Johnson of engaging in groundless conjecture after he suggested that coronavirus could have spread from people grinding up the scales of pangolins. The Prime Minister speculated about the origin of COVID-19 during a speech to an environmental summit on Monday. He said it was the product of an imbalance in man's relationship with the natural world. The PM continued, like the original plague which struck the Greeks I seem to remember in Book 1 of the Iliad, it is a zoonotic disease.
CNN report. Alexei Navalny says he will return to Russia on Sunday after being poisoned. Russian opposition politician Alexei Navalny has announced that he plans to return to Russia on Sunday from Germany, where he has been recovering after being poisoned. On Instagram, Navalny said that he purchased a plane ticket to Russia on Wednesday morning after realizing that he is almost healthy and can finally come back home. There was never a question for me whether to return or not, never. Just because I didn't leave. I ended up in Germany, having arrived there in an intensive care box. On January 17, Sunday, I will return home on Pobeda airline flight. Meet me.
Fox report. Seattle police search for man who kicked 2 women in the head in attacks caught on video. Seattle police are hunting for a man seen on video kicking 2 women in the head in separate, seemingly random attacks last week. Investigators said the man attacked a 56-year-old woman who was planting flowers at the base of a tree on a sidewalk in the city's Belltown neighborhood on Jan. 7. Police released video that shows the man approaching the woman from behind as she is on her knees and kicking her in the side of her head.
Deutsche Welle report. Italy Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte loses Senate majority. Italy's ex-Prime Minister Matteo Renzi triggered a political crisis by taking his party out of the ruling coalition and leaving Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte without a ruling majority in the upper chamber of the parliament, Senate. Renzi heads the small but crucial Italia Viva party. 2 of his ministers, Agriculture Minister Teresa Bellanova and Family Minister Elena Bonetti, resigned on Wednesday.
Deutsche Welle report. Trump impeachment debate heats up ahead of vote. Democratic members of the U.S. House of Representatives on Wednesday began debating the impeachment of U.S. President Donald Trump on accusations he was responsible for inciting a mob of supporters that stormed the Capitol building last week. After the debate concludes, the Democrat-controlled House is expected to vote and pass the article of impeachment by Wednesday evening, which would make Trump the first president in U.S. history to be impeached twice.
Al Jazeera report. What can corporations do to help save the ocean? We cannot have a healthy planet without a healthy ocean, but the health of the ocean is now in a clearly observable decline. It is folly to imagine we can solve the global challenges posed by climate change by simply leaving the ocean alone. Of course, we need to allow ecosystems to recover and regenerate, but for reasons of food security and positive economic activity, we also need to give tangible support to more sustainable ocean business and production practices.
BBC report. Görlitz last Nazi looted work returned to owners. Eventually only 14 were conclusively identified as looted, and now Germany has declared the last of those works has been returned to the owner's heirs. Das Klavierspiel, Playing the Piano, by Karl Spitz-Weg was owned by music publisher Henri Hinrichsen. He was murdered at Auschwitz in 1942. German Culture Minister Monika Grütters said the return of the work sent an important signal, and that while it could not make up for the deep suffering, it could make a contribution to historical justice and fulfill our moral responsibility.
Deutsche Welle report. EU Food Agency approves mealworms as human food. Mealworms got approval for EU plates Wednesday from the European Food Safety Agency (EFSA), based in Italy's city of Parma, better known for its tasty pasta, tomatoes, ham and cheese, actually larvae of the darkling beetle Tenebrio molitor and typically fed to pet reptiles and fish. The yellow grubs could soon be the first novel food cleared for sale across the EU, assuming the European Commission adds its endorsement.
CNN report. Forget foldable TVs. Transparent screens are the cool new tech trend. TVs seem to get bigger, slimmer and more connected each year. But now, in 2021, you can also see right through them. In a video shown during the all-digital CES 2021 Consumer Tech Conference on Monday, LG LPL unveiled a transparent TV with a screen you can see through when on or off, The clip shows a 55-inch OLED display rising from the foot of a bed, looking like a sheet of glass before a movie appears on screen.
Thank you for watching 5 PM Recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.